This topic is near and dear to me because as I continue to grow along this journey, and we're talking about this kingmaker concept, one of the things that I've been able to learn, embrace, and teach on is the concept of understanding who's on your team. Many of us are creating and developing teams, and one of the greatest challenges that I've found is often we are putting the wrong people on our team. It's a challenge because as I'm a fan of sports, one of the things that I've found, particularly in the area of basketball, is just because you have a whole lot of stars on a team doesn't guarantee that it's going to win a championship. I found that putting the right people on the team for the right goal changes how effective you're going to be now and in the long run. So I want you to grasp this kingmaker principle for greatness, and I want you to ask yourself, who's on my team? Have I put people on my team that are going to help me propel to where I'm headed? Because number one, if you've got people who are not there to help you get where you're going, you may have the wrong people on your team. Many of us have allowed people to get on our team based off of relationship, based off of past history, or based off of likability. This is a challenge because just because you grew up with an individual, simply because a person is in your family, or because you like them, doesn't mean that they're going to help you get to the destiny that you're headed towards. Do you have the right people on your team? Is this an individual or a group of individuals that brings out the best in you? Check your team. Look at your surroundings and ask yourself, who's on my team? Secondly, are the people that are on my team now best for where I am now? Recognize that there are people who were on the team where you were that were effective for where you were. There are people who have been assigned to you for different reasons. Many of us want to keep people from last season on a road and on a train, on a plane, or on a boat that is headed to a totally different destination. Recognize that the last season that you were in, if those people are not assigned for where you're headed, don't keep them there. Get rid of them. Make sure that you understand this principle because it's hard on the road to greatness separating ourselves from people. A lot of us don't want to make the hard decision. I've been with this person for 20 years. This person is a family member. This is somebody I care deeply about. But are they supposed to be there in this season? Who's on your team? Finally, find people who are smarter than you on your team. If you're the smartest person on your team, you need to get off the team. Because the reality is the moment that you know it all, the moment that you've grasped every principle and nobody can tell you anything, the team may be effective, you just may be the wrong leader. Recognize that you need people who you can listen to, who can check you and pull your coattail, and people who can help propel the raw talent you have to get it to the ultimate place that it's supposed to be. A lot of us have the gift, we just don't have the right people connected us to get the gift out to everybody else. You're not the only person that sees the journey. You may be the visionary, but without the people who can carry out the small details, who can get the vision to a concept that everybody can understand it, you may have the wrong people on your team. Figure out who's on your team. Look at the journey. Recognize where they are now and recognize where you're headed so that your team can be most effective for where you're headed. You've got greatness in you, but you got to have the right team. Recognize, as I always tell you, today is your moment of success. Wake up the king in you. As always, it's your main man, Kervance, the Kingmaker. Peace.